And we move to the start list here. Lane 1, Ireland. Lane 2, Belgium. Lane 3, Italy. Lane 4, France. Lane 5, Czech Republic. And Lane 6, Greece.
It's not identical. Belgium.
So, no need really to introduce the Irish. Gary O'Donovan in the bow seat, his brother Paul in the stroke seat. Two of the biggest stars in world rowing. First time we've seen this Belgian crew. They missed qualification for the Olympics last year. But Tim Breese has come back into the boat after his injury. The Italians have been flying. Stefano Oppo in the bow seat, and closest to you, Pietro Ruta, brilliantly defeated their heavyweight double at Henley. And they'll give the French a real race. These men, Olympic champions in this event. Furthest away from you, Pierre Houin in the bow seat, Jeremy Azou closest to you. So this is a fantastic result for the Czech crew to be in the final, I think, and to be in one of the sort of favoured lanes, lane 5. Jiří Simonek, the 21-year-old in the bow seat, the veteran Miroslav Rastl Jr. in the stroke seat. And always new crews coming out, this one no exception. Ninos Nikolaidis in the bow, the 19-year-old won the junior men's pairs last year in Rotterdam. He is joined by Eferios Consolos, the 28-year-old strokeman. So new combinations, youth and experience all over the place, as in this French Olympic double. The young bowman Pierre Houin, the slightly more experienced 28-year-old Jeremy Azou in the stroke
Czech
seat.
Republic, Greece, attention.
As we're away in the lightweight men's double scull. The only lightweight men's event remaining on the Olympic program. But look at this start here from the French. They are the favourites, of course, Pierre Houin and Jeremy Azou in the stroke seat, the Olympic champions.
Slightly slower in the semi-finals than the Italians, and they went head-to-head with the Italians at Henley in the semi-final, and really I heard from the French team that that race really did for the French. Of course, they went head-to-head with the New Zealanders we saw earlier today with the double sculls, and they had nothing left for that final. So Italians, they have led out, and I tell you, this is going to be a real battle head-to-head. These two lightweight doubles have been racing each other for the best part of the last week, and there's really not much of a cigarette paper you can put between them.
Yeah, well, both crews were sitting up there on 44 strokes a minute, just coming down together. The Italians sitting on 41 still, the French on 42. Fastest moving boat on the course is the French here, as they look to be maybe settling down just a fraction, just about a foot ahead, but the bow ball's really changing positions there. Of course, this combination coming together in 2016 of Houin and Jeremy Azou. Houin was a member of the 2015 lightweight men's quad from France that won the gold medal in Aiguebelette. Azou, a member of the lightweight men's double scull, combining then for the Olympics to take that memorable gold medal.
So they look a bit more comfortable on this water than they did at Henley. Again, we heard from the French team that the popple on the conditions at Henley made it quite difficult for Azou and Houin to look their normal fluid self. But these two Italian lightweights, Oppo and Ruta, they finished out the medals, but just with one blade. They're in the lightweight men's 4 in Rio. That event has disappeared from the Olympic programme, so here they are in the double, making beautiful strokes as well. French out in front. And this new Belgian combination, Sarah, well, new I say for this season, Tim Breese back in the boat after his rib injury with Niels van Zwegen, who's been plying his trade in the lightweight men's single scull, took a bronze medal in the Europeans and in Belgrade, and it's great to see the Belgians back on form.
Yeah, the Belgians sitting there locked together with Ireland's Gary O'Donovan and Paul O'Donovan, but the Italians, it was such an incredible race to see them in Henley take on their heavyweight counterparts. I think it was in the quarterfinals. We saw this decisive look across from the stroke seat, Pietro Ruta, and then this split-second decision to commit and to take the lead in that race. It was quite incredible to watch unfold. But then coming up against this French double, I mean...
There is no doubt that Azou and Houin are sculling much better than they did at Henley. In terms of the pace they had, I don't know what their recovery powers are like, but it must be phenomenal. I think they do like the more flat water. Really, they are seeing the Italians off with far more ease than they did over the Henley course when they raced in that really tough semi-final. 6-lane racing, seems to suit the French much more. They go through the 1,000 metre in front. Italy in second, and then I think that's a great first 1,000 from the O'Donovan brothers there on the far side. They are in third place. Normally you see them a bit further out, and I think their coach Noel Casey is going to be Dominic Casey is going to be really keen that his crew are not out of the reckoning in the first 1,000, because usually they are, and we have to see that fight back in the second half.
And this is definitely a push from the Italians. You can see they've got their bow up onto the stern of the French, but here are the Irish. They're sitting in third place at the moment, but it's going to be a really tight race here between the three crews, the Irish, the Belgians and the Greeks. But the Irish, like you said, we're used to seeing them sit further back and come through.
The Irish have had, this is their fourth race, and these crews have only raced, well, this is their third race. The Irish had to go through the repechage. They had a tough heat. They didn't make it through. So those guys have raced 4 times, and you really, if you have to race that extra race, it's very difficult to compete with the best in the world, as Azu and Uan are. The Italians there, the second place crew, that is the bows of the Greek boat. They're in this near side lane. They're out of the medals at the moment, but there are the Italians. They never give up.
But you talk to anyone around the boat park, heavyweight, lightweight, it doesn't matter. This is such a standout combination from the last couple of seasons. I mean, I think that they're a real lesson in sculling, and double sculling particularly. He's just such an incredible rower, Jeremy Azu, and his double partner, Pierre Juan, in the bow seat there. They're sitting about a length, just a little bit of clear water off the Italians now. We saw the Italians push, the French countered. They look safe again, but watch the O'Donovans here in third place at the moment, sitting just up on the Greeks.
There's a 29-year-old Pietro Ruta in the stroke seat. Really unmissable figure with that beard. But look, the French are going through the gears yet again. There's Pierre Huang calling, Jeremy Azu answering him. The man from Avignon Rowing Club has really set up wants to close the door on the Italians. They've come back a little bit, I think, in that third quarter. And there's the look. He really is motivated, looking out the boat just to see if he can get back. 23-year-old Paul O'Donovan, Gary behind him, 24 years of age. Well, you wouldn't put it past them to come right back on the Italians. I don't think in 250 metres there's enough water for them to get the silver medal, but a bronze medal would be a tremendous return for having raced 4 times here, Sarah.
Yeah, what an incredible performance here. We see the French going up again, 42 strokes a minute. The Italians, 41. They're trying to get on their stern, but I don't know that they're going to be able to do it. But they're worried because the Irish are coming. They're up on 40 strokes a minute, currently sitting in third place.
Yeah, that looks like the 1-2-3, the likely 1-2-3 as they pass here, barring anyone coming creeping up on this near side. The French double, the camera switches to them. Azu and Huan, they will take a win. They got beaten by the New Zealand heavyweight double sculls at Henley, but this crew that won in Poznan, they won at the Europeans. They record their 3rd win of the season together. The Olympic champions will take gold here on the Rodsay, cross the line in 6:13. Italy take a well-deserved silver, and Ireland have battled all this week, and that is rewarded with a bronze medal ahead of Belgium, Greece, and then the Czechs come in 6th place.
What a race there. Incredible by the Belgians and the Greeks as well. I mean, there was just such a hot race from start to finish, but the French looking every bit the class act and crew that they are. The Italians there, Oppo and Ruta in 2nd place.
V for victory, and fair enough after all the racing you've done, mate, because that's amazing. Stefano Oppo, the 22-year-old in the bow seat, has a wave. They know they have been in a regatta this weekend. 4 races for the Irish. They've kept their charm and bonhomie throughout. Azu and Huan steam off as always. They were briefly led, I think, by the Italians at one point in the race. But there they've settled into their rhythm. Mouths open, sucking in the oxygen. Italians just doing their work in the 3rd quarter there. There's the Irish charge. Wasn't quite enough for silver medal, but it took them ahead of the Belgians. Huan takes the outstretched hand of Azu. So confirmation, 6:12.96 for the French. Yet another gold medal.